And we just keep the show rolling along. We talked about the real reason TNT and the NBA, that relationship may be coming to an end in some degree or some form. Then we talked about dumbass Dabo Swinney. And now we're going to go ahead and go back to the association for a quasi NCAA / NBA thing that kind of made me shake my head. Because Coach K is advising the Lakers with a coaching search. Now that was out of Fox Sports. Now Coach K, who Buss' late father Jerry Buss famously attempted to lure away from Duke nearly 20 years ago, has become a respected unofficial resource. The Lakers, because the Lakers are out here looking for another coach, they fired Darvin Ham. And why bring in anybody who you can have be a judge of coaching character than Coach K? I'm not going to run down on Coach K. I've always been a big fan of his, from his coaching clinics all the way to his basketball camps he's ran. I have nothing bad to say about him. Now, he was bought in because of his deep knowledge, okay? And there's candidates all over. But one thing that had me look at this was he bought in because of JJ Reddick? Nobody's going to hire JJ Reddick just off this information right here. So why would a guy be giving advice about hiring coaches in a league he's never coached in? That's a valid question, because JJ is so bad and devoid of any experience. He's got Coach K out here on these streets just selling that ass. Come on now, man. You got to get your daddy, Coach K. Coach K, I need your help. Coach K, I need your help. I've been out here giving it up to LeBron. He been going balls deep in my podcast, and I still can't get on with the Lakers. I need your help, daddy. Reddick, a current NBA television analyst, if you want to call him that, and a longtime podcast host who retired after a 15-year NBA playing career in 2021, has been constantly linked to the LA job opening since the firing of Darvin Ham. Also, Reddick recently started a deep dive basketball podcast, Mind the Game, with LeBron James. Told you. He's out here selling it, boy. He's selling that ass. And if y'all mad that I went ahead and I'm running down on JJ, so what? Grow up. This is what he's doing. This is the equivalent of your dad after you go interview at a job and you don't have the qualifications. Your dad coming up saying, I believe you need to hire my boy. You need to hire my boy, JJ. Tell him, daddy. You tell him they need to hire me, daddy. So Coach K, he's trying to tip the scales in JJ's favor, and I have no issues with that. But let's stop saying he's advising the Lakers about hiring a new coach when he's just there to pitch JJ and JJ alone. But there's just one thing. Reddick has no coaching experience, well beyond his son's youth travel basketball team. However, he has reportedly interviewed for multiple jobs in the NBA as head coaches, assistant coaches, and other various roles over the last 2 seasons. There have been a lot of coaches with no experience to get jobs, but there must be something about Reddick where nobody wants to take a chance on him. It's been 2 years, but something interesting I'd like to interject into the conversation is, why is he the only guy out here doing this? He's on ESPN. ESPN has the biggest megaphone. ESPN has the bigger platform than anywhere else that he's a part of. Not only he's been pitching his failed podcast, he's out here yucking it up with LeBron. Yeah, LeBron, I'm trying to, ha ha ha, I want to be your boss. Look, that is a conflict of interest because if you and a star player have a podcast and you're the said coach of the team, that's going to alienate guys really quick. And LeBron is a coach killer. So, yeah, I said it. If you're mad about that, so what? Grow up. A hit dog, asshole, a hit dog. LeBron is a coach killer. And the moment LeBron feels like you're not leading them or you're not coaching them in the way that they need to be coached, then you're going to be out of a job. And we'll see how hard that relationship lasts. But Sam Cassell, who currently works for the Boston Celtics, is also the leading candidate for that job. So is James Borrega, the former Charlotte Hornets head coach, who also spent several years as an assistant coach under Greg Popovich of the San Antonio Spurs. Now he's with the New Orleans Pelicans. So you have guys from winning programs, winning pedigree, these guys who have a real extensive resume in coaching. They're leading the candidates. It's going to come down to these two. But out of nowhere, you have the media. I bet people didn't even know Sam Cassell was even being considered for that job. I can bet any dollars to donuts, nobody knew Sam Cassell was being considered for the LA Laker job. But you got Coach K out on these streets selling that ass, trying to get JJ Reddick a job. Man, I mean, just when I thought that he couldn't get no lower. You talk about accountability, and I remember he was shooting on Doc Rivers. Doc doesn't take accountability. Then he got checked by Pat Bev, and Pat Beverly was absolutely 100% right that Doc Rivers gave him a job when nobody else would. And when he left Doc Rivers, he proceeded to slip into obscurity. And he went into oblivion. And then he was like, I retired after 15 years. Man, sit your weak ass down. Open his mouth, crying constantly. And then you feel like you should get a job because you're somebody's friend who plays for the team. But when that didn't happen, you went and got your daddy. Like, remember the Titans. You know who your daddy is, boy. Who's your daddy? You know who your mama is, boy. My daddy, Coach K. My daddy, Coach K. Man, again, if these guys are the favorite to get the job, you clearly see why Coach K is in the ear of Jenny Buss. And it's not an advisory position at all. He's JJ's advocate, point blank. And if he loses on this job, this will be 3 years and there will be no takers on JJ Reddick. Which, like I said, it's a red flag. Something about him is turning teams away. It's not uncalled for NBA franchises to take chances on first-time coaches, but they would have had to have a coaching pedigree resume. He has none of that. This dude coached his 9-year-old son's travel ball team. And you go from that to coaching in the NBA? Come on, man. Like I say, where do you sit on that? Is JJ Reddick being a straight up biatch in these internet streets, having his daddy, daddy, Coach K, help me, Coach K. I need you to help my job. I got out here and I sucked off LeBron James good and hard. It don't seem like I'm getting anywhere. Even I lied about his below mediocre and average son being an NBA prospect. Help me out. Help me, daddy. Oh, we got a lot more show, man. This is Big Bird.